Right, we are here live with Lee and Steve. So what's your initial thoughts on the game?
Yeah, we're reasonably pleased still, like we've played a lot of these sides now, and we've been in the game all the time and create plenty of chances still. There's that little bit that they've obviously got some good players and they knock it about quickly, and I think they're full time that way, and you can see that. But yeah, really pleased. And again today we've made loads of changes, loads of subs, and it hasn't weakened us, which is pleasing from the start of the pre-season campaign where we was to now. We made a couple of changes and it collapsed, but they've sort of learned and they're all getting better. And as far as the game of football goes, we was in it right the way through, and pleasing again, we've made a comeback and then finished the game strong. It's silly little mistakes. I mean, the goal just before half time is a mistake. Well, there's a couple of mistakes in there, and I'd like to see it again because I still feel we can clear the ball a lot better than that. And we're a little bit slow at times. The ball comes in and around our feet. But again, that's something we look to change in that side of things. And the second goal, again, it's one of those, if the goalkeeper throws it out and you create an attack and you go down the other end, it's marvellous. If the goalkeeper throws it out, it gets cut out. And it's not always the goalkeeper's fault, but he's in charge of the football. But if it gets cut out and they go down the other end, put a cross in and scores, then you say, well, don't throw it out so quickly. So it's very difficult that way, but I'm really pleased with how they responded. We picked a side today that there's some boys in there a bit disappointed that they're not starting, but it's pre-season. That team that starts today in a month's time won't be anything like the team that starts. That's football, but no, it was good. It was good, and they're a good side as well. So all in all, yeah, pleased. It's been a real tough pre-season. That we're asking them boys to travel a lot of miles. We've not had, the training facilities that are spot on, and they haven't moaned. They've got on with it. They've all put a shift in. No one misses anything. And we've had them up and down the country playing pre-season games, and they've all just got on with it. So we can't ask any more from pre-season so far. And to a man, they've been a credit. Yeah, well placed.
Yeah, and Steve, what have you made of pre-season?
Yeah, as Lee said, it's been an interesting one. I don't think I can ever remember in all my time in football the amount of change that we've had to deal with. But to credit, the boys have done really well. Not moaned, we've just got on with it. I think we've had 3 goes at pre-season now, haven't we? We've changed the fixtures 3 or 4 times, and what we've ended up with is games against lots stronger opposition because they're the only ones available. And I think as the games have gone on, we've shown we've adapted. The most pleasing thing for me today is, despite all the change of numbers and different things, we looked a cohesive unit right the way through, and we finished strong. And we're going to have to deal with, setbacks during the season. Not everything's always going to flow your way, so coping with change is a must, and we've certainly doing it better now than we were, let's say, 4 weeks ago. But as we've said to the boys, it's where it starts now. We're a week away from AFC Dunstable and an important FA Cup game. There's money to be had, and we want to get as much of that as we can for the benefit of the club. And then we'll have a tough game away at Slough. Should it all go to the plans that are in place at the moment, and that's when we're really judged on what we're about. But effort-wise, commitment, dealing with the change that we've forced upon them, they've been excellent so far.
Yeah, and Lee, Steve touched on the FC Dunstable game next week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Are you pleased with the draw?
Yeah, got to be pleased with the draw. It's one of those, you're against a team that maybe has had 6 or 7 proper games now. 90 minutes, straight to penalties. It's a great leveller in that times, I think. But, you're playing a team 2 leagues below, you've got to take it. We played them enough last year, me and Steve, and we've watched them enough that we know. And obviously, managers are personally a really good friend of mine, and I played with him. I was captain for him for 8 years, so there's a little bit of Sorcerer and the Apprentice about that fixture. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. We've had all these pre-season games, but nothing beats proper football, and can't wait for it to start. We just hope it ain't we start and then we stop and then we start, and but that's in the lap of the gods. We can't change that. But as far as next week goes, yeah, we just hope the fans can go. You know, we still don't even know that side of things, whether our supporters can go to the game. It seems so ridiculous that because they support a Step 2 club, they're being told they can't go to a game where everyone else can go to. You never get your head around it. But for their sake, we hope they're there. And listen, me and Steve are desperate to meet all supporters and do it properly in the whole Tudor army, and we haven't yet been able to do that. So can't wait for it to start. I think everyone's done enough pre-season now, and you know, thank God we never started when other teams started, because we're browned off for pre-season now, so God knows what the other teams are like. But yeah, can't wait to get it going next week.
Yeah, and finally, Steve, I guess, what's your thoughts on the fan situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing, as you say, that we can't and haven't thus far been able to play in front of, you know, the Hemel people. Somebody needs to get their head round this properly and quickly, hopefully this week, because how can clubs, you know, have any kind of longevity? You know, the people coming through the gate are the lifeblood of the club, you know, and the whole community thing. It's just impossible when you've got the scenario we face at the moment. But it needs straightening out. It's ridiculous that Step 3 and below, you can go and watch a game. We've got arguably better facilities, more space, bigger capacity, you know, and therefore the ability to safe distance better than Step 3 to 6. But we can't do it. It doesn't make sense. And then when you read that, you know, you're potentially penalising Step 2 supporters who are drawn against, you know, lower level, you know, an FA Cup tie. I mean, it just doesn't add up. So the sooner it's straightened out, the better. You know, we want that stadium full. I know the chairman definitely does. You know, it's what funds non-league football, and you know, and it's what it's all about, having your supporters in there with you. You know, whatever comes during this season ahead, you know, we're all in it together, and we should be from day one, from my point of view.